Hello my viewers and welcome back to my channel. Subscribe, like and be part of this conversation. Now today I will come you to a powerful conversation about race evolution and the myths that have been used to oppress and marginalize. Now in this video, a courageous palm color individual takes on the harmful comments of those who believe in palm color superiority. With science, logic and a dash of humor, he dismantles the notion that palm color people are inherently better adapted to the evolutionary game. From the importance of melanin to the design of the human nose, he breaks down the facts and sets the record straight. Now, he also tackles the harmful assumption that Black people and people of color are only hired due to the diversity initiatives rather than their qualifications. He also responds to other comments as well. So with that said, join me as we explore the truth about human evolution, diversity, and inclusion. Check out his videos. I will be right back, and when I do, we talk more about this.
White people are better at evolution? Since when? My brother in Christ, I had to wait for cloud coverage to record this. Let's just start with our lack of melanin that literally protects you from the sun. That's indisputable, right? Like, you can physically see the difference. So much so that you leave comments like this. But we'll come back to that. The sun is literally attacking us every time we're in it. Let's move to another evolutionary difference. White people's noses, look at mine. See how it went in on one side? 80% of people have a deviated septum that are Caucasian. And do you know why? Because we weren't designed to live anywhere near the equator. We were designed to be in colder spaces and our nose closed so that we weren't inhaling cold air. Do you know whose noses are wider and more open? And let me tell you the evolutionary benefits of it, my guy. 1, you're able to inhale more oxygen, getting more oxygen in your blood. Also, it doesn't cause you to be a mouth breather. There's a reason your boy here doesn't have a chin. Also, mouth breathing causes front teeth crowding on the bottom. It leads to poor posture. It leads to being overweight. It leads to snoring and having lack of sleep, which ultimately messes with so many functions and features. But got it. Okay, got it. Just read a book. Let's unpack this comment while I unpack these groceries. First of all, people don't get hired because of DEI specifically. They get hired because of their qualification. If you don't want people to be included, if you don't want diversity, just say that. Just say that out loud. Say it tomorrow, say it at work, say it to your boss. And if you think including somebody is hiring them solely because of what they look like, you're farly mistaken. Diversity basically just means not straight white men only. It means everybody. It means pregnant women. It means Hispanic people. It means Asian people. It means men, women, creed, race, religion, all the things. Doesn't mean, oh, there's one spot here, it needs to be a person of this color so we can have the full rainbow of human beings. It just means everybody gets a shake. You later went on to say that unqualified people aren't being fired specifically because of DEI. Make that make sense to me. And are you saying this only happens to people of color? Are you saying that they're not firing white people when they're not doing the job, when they're unqualified? If so, how are these unqualified white people getting hired by your metric? It feels like you just pick up the goalpost every single time somebody says something that makes your argument a little invalid, and it's okay to be wrong. I think that's the most important takeaway here, is to be like, oh, I was wrong. I'm wrong every day. I'm wrong all the time. Not because of Black people or Asian people or women or people who don't look like me. I'm wrong because I am wrong. And yes, I love LaCroix. Maybe we should just be indifferent about the color of our skin. It literally does not matter. Wrong. I looked up indifferent to make sure that I was right. It truly means like we don't care or it doesn't matter. That's what the point of indifferent means. Skin color is important. Saying that it's not, or saying I don't see color, is the problem. One of the problems. And saying things like this is rooted in white supremacy. But strange man on the internet with a man bun, how? When you say something like this, it tells people who are a different skin tone than our own that their experience is invalidated and that they receive the same experience that we receive as white people. Take a minute, just hear that for a second. It's saying that you and I, white person, have the same experience as Black person, Hispanic person, Asian person, which is not true, because there's never been a law that had to be written so that white people have a similar set of rights as another group. In America. I don't know the rules elsewhere, I'm gonna be honest. But it's one of those things that we have to unlearn. It's literally you're centering yourself as like, nah, it's the same for everybody, and it's truly not. And it's okay to know that it's not. To not want to change it is the problem. Try to love your color instead of hating it. With great white privilege comes great white responsibility. I don't hate my color, but I want to ask, what do you love so much about it? What am I missing that I have to outwardly tout it? And does speaking up for someone who is a different color mean that I dislike my own? Does that mean by your logic that I have to hate other colors to like my own? I don't hate my color. I'm just aware that the sun does. I don't hate my color. I'm just aware that I'm not the center. It doesn't have to be about me, and that's okay. What about my content upsets you so much that you have to like write this out? You spent time with both thumbs. Oh, I'm gonna get this man bun wearing guy. I also want to acknowledge it's always the people with no profile photo and no content with their face in it. The loudest one in the room is the one with the complex. I can tell you because I used to be the loudest one in the room. How do you get upset at me explaining how incredible and wonderful people of another race are that you had to pop both your thumbs up against your phone repeatedly in a rage response? I understand the buzzword is projection, but if you write nothing but angry comments, it's you. If one kid fails the test, it's the student. If it's the whole class, it's the teacher. And what do you do for fun? Is this your version of it? Beyond this, what else do you do in the day?
Now, this video is indeed a masterclass in debunking harmful stereotypes and myths perpetuated by palm color supremacy. The speaker's witty humor and sharp intellect make him a formidable opponent against ignorance and bigotry. Now, by tackling the absurd notion that palm color people are evolutionarily superior, he exposes the flawed logic and pseudoscience that underpins our to-the-ceased ideologies. Now, his emphasis on the importance of melanin and the design of the human nose is a brilliant way to illustrate the diversity and adaptability of human biology. Moreover, his response to the commenter who denies the value of diversity and inclusion is a powerful indictment of the systemic barriers that prevent marginalized communities from achieving their full potential. By calling out the fallacy that people of color and Black people are hired only due to DEI initiatives, he highlights the implicit bias and discrimination that perpetuates inequality. Now, this video is indeed a testament to the power of education, critical thinking, and courage in the face of adversity. It's a reminder that people must continue to challenge harmful narratives and amplify marginalized voices to build a more just and equitable society. Now, coming to the issue of the nose, a team of researchers gained new insight into the shape of the human nose. The climate that our ancestors evolved in appears to play a role in the width of our noses. Our noses are arguably the most prominent feature on our faces, and although some people's noses are more prominent than others, their shape and form is unique to humans. Our noses carry out a number of important roles. Other than obvious task of shepherding air and aromas into our head, it conditions the air we breathe, ensuring that it is warm and moist by the time it reaches our lungs. Now, the nasal cavity also helps to prevent infections. Hairs trap large particles and pathogens that we inhale, and sticky mucus traps other unwanted visitors and microbes. Now, the captured debris is then cleared away by the hair-like structures called cilia. The shape of your nose is, of course, dependent on the shape of your parents' noses and their parents' noses, and so on. Now, as far back as the 1800s, Arthur Thomson, a British anatomist and anthropologist, pointed out that long, thin noses tended to occur in colder, drier regions, whereas shorter, wider noses more often appeared in hotter, more humid areas. Now, this rule is now referred to as Thomson's nose rule. Although the rule is well established, it was not clear whether the differences arose as a response to selection pressures, or whether it was simply due to genetic drift, chance mutations conserved without any particular survival benefits. Now, Thomson's nose rule has previously been examined by studying skulls, but for the first time, the theory has been tested using live humans and 3D facial imaging. Researchers set out to uncover whether nose size evolved as an adaptation to climate. Now, the team led by Aslan Zaidi and Mark Shriver examined people of West African, East Asian, South Asian, and Northern European ancestry. The team measured each individual's nostril width, the distance between nostrils, the height of the nose, the length of the ridge nose protrusion, external nose area, and the area of the nostrils. Now, once the 3D data had been analyzed, the team concluded that the width of the nostrils and the base of nose measurements across these regions could not be explained by chance alone. They also find that wider nostrils correlated with populations whose ancestors evolved in warmer, more humid regions. Now, this suggests that climate was a driving factor in the evolution of nose shape, just like this palm color man has said. Now, the notion that marginalized individuals only get employed due to diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives is a harmful and inaccurate stereotype. This comment perpetuates the false narrative that people of color and Black people, women, and other underrepresented groups are unqualified, and only receive opportunities because of their identity. Now, the truth is that individuals face significant barriers to entry and advancement in the workforce to start with, including discrimination, bias, and lack of access to resources and networks. DEI initiatives aim to address these systemic issues and create a level playing field. Now, in reality, people are employed because of their skills, qualifications, and experiences. Marginalized individuals have to work twice as hard to prove themselves and overcome the biases that exist in the hiring process. I feel it's essential for people like this to recognize and challenge their own biases to create a fair and inclusive workplace. We have finally come to the end of the video, but what do my viewers have to say? Share your thoughts as well on these amazing videos and his responses in the comment section down below, and let's have a conversation there. Thank you for always watching, and see you in my next video as I bring you another interesting video.